just Monday through Thursday. They don't do it on
Is that
Friday.
a week or?
No, it's for 3 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk to Sarah and see if she got and we'll see if we can get
Okay.
before.
Okay. Do I need to go get him or did you
Yeah,
call?
I'm gonna call her right now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hello. Hi. I am Mason this evening and I'm Grace. Yes. Thanks. I'm back.
I spoke with you the other day about getting this list.
Uh-huh.
There's at least 5 incidents missing off of it.
What do you mean?
I have photographs of every time there's a slip,
Okay.
at least when I pick her up.
Okay.
And there's at least 5 missing off of here.
Okay. Well, we give those to you guys. So if they didn't make a copy of it and you got, because we give the originals to the parents.
So you don't maintain documentation of when a kid's injured here at the daycare?
That's, to us, it's not an injury, it's an incident. So we're not required to have those. We do that for
What's
our sake
considered an
and for the
injury?
parents' sake. An injury is like usually if the parent needs to take them to the doctor for it or, yeah. But you have all the the reports, right?
So just to clarify, you do not maintain a list of the times that an incident has occurred where a kid was injured here?
I don't have a list. I added those. I went through all the stuff I could find for you so that I can have them for you. There
Why?
might even be more, but I just put them into a log for you so you could have it on paper. A
For
log
some
of it.
reason, the list that you gave me only has incidents that occurred on Wednesdays and Thursdays, the days that I pick her up.
I literally went through the stack of things that we had
Okay.
from the incident reports and I pulled everything that had her name on it.
You guys aren't required by anyone to maintain a list of the injuries that occurred here?
It's not an injury, it's an incident. And no, we're not required to
You're
have that.
telling me
Those
that
are for-
the scratches on the back of my daughter's neck that caused her to bleed are not an injury?
No, because kids get scratched all the time. We are not
She doesn't
required
get scratched
to
when she's with me.
She's with 10 other
She
kids.
doesn't
when
get
she's
bite
with you.
marks like this when that's not an injury?
Did
That's
she
not an
need
injury?
medical attention for that?
If as a cop I was investigating a domestic violence incident.
You're not a cop anymore.
Okay.
And you're not investigating me, so please don't treat me
Okay.
like this.
Well, that's considered an injury. If law enforcement came and they saw marks on a kid like that, they would say that's an injury. That's how they would list it in a report. Those are injuries.
Okay? So what are you asking me for?
I'm asking for you to be honest with me about when things happen with her
I went through
instead of
our
working
mom.
with her mom
I don't work with
and
her
making
mom.
sure I'm
I work
only
here.
aware of the things that happen on the days that I pick her up. Because it's very unlikely that things only happen on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
I
and
gave
if
you
that's
a
the
copy.
case-
I put them in a log so I could print them for you.
If the case is that it's only happening on Wednesdays and Thursdays, then it's very easy to narrow it down and figure out who's in charge of her those days and make sure it doesn't happen
I don't
anymore.
know about your guys' parenting plan. I don't
This-
know about that. I don't care about that. It's
What's
none of my
happening here at
business.
the
I don't,
What's
the
happening
whole
here has
parenting
nothing to do
part
with the
has nothing
parenting
to do
plan.
with it. No, I'm saying I don't know what you guys have going on, what your plan is.
The
what
issue
your
isn't
parenting
anything that
stuff is.
happens when she's with us. She doesn't get injuries with
But
us.
you're telling me that I'm only giving you reports on Wednesdays and
I think it's
Thursdays,
very
the
unlikely
days you
that she
have
only
them.
gets injured on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
It's really, honestly, that is kind of weird because but
She's
it's
with the
kinda
same
true
kids
because we never
every
have
other
to
day of the
deal-
week.
We never really have to give reports to the mom. Very, very seldom do we even have to give her a report
Okay,
that something
so
happened to
what
her.
can we do
But she
to
does
make-
pick up earlier.
Okay, so
And
what? She also drops off earlier.
No, but I'm just saying
So
she picks
what
up
can we-
earlier, and I know that in the afternoons is when the kids are playing outside. It's when they have. I feel like that's usually
So
when
is
things
there
happen.
is there
at
the
end of
ability
day.
to make sure that who's watching her is more heightened during the afternoon hours if that's when it's happening? On Wednesdays and Thursdays, since those are the only days that the kids decide to bite?
That's not true. I just maybe just with Grace's
So
situation.
Grace
maybe,
only
but-
gets bit on Wednesdays and Thursdays in the afternoon. That narrows it down a lot to who's
Okay.
watching her and what time
Well,
period.
don't the things have the times on them? Do they put the times?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so
Well, it says the date.
oh, they don't have the times on them.
No,
Okay.
yeah, it just says date.
Yeah, usually it's when they're. I'm not gonna say all the time because I don't know, but I do know that a lot of the incidents happen in the afternoon and outside during outside playtime.
So what are we doing going forward to make sure, since we've narrowed it down to a certain specific time period on certain days,
Okay.
that makes it a lot easier to make sure it doesn't happen anymore?
We try to have extra people out there when they're outside, just because if a teacher needs to go do something or if they need help with the water fountains, we do try to have an extra person out there. I mean, they only have to have one teacher with 6 kids, and sometimes we have 2 and 3 teachers when they're out there. So And she does good. She plays with her friends. She plays with the kids. There's not any.
Doesn't injure anyone.
Oh,
She has no incidents of biting.
But they play their kids.
Okay.
It's
So
part of
biting is
development.
playing?
It's part of development. It's part of
Okay. You
learning.
keep saying that.
She bites on herself all the time. Just like right now. They're getting
She's
teeth
chewing
at
on her
the
finger because she's teething.
They're
She's
all
not
teething,
leaving.
though. That's what I'm trying.
She's not leaving
to
bloody
show you.
scratch marks on anyone's neck. You can't provide me an incident where she's injured another kid.
If they
All
scratch
I'm
each other,
asking,
we don't.
I'm not trying.
The only things that we keep track of, if a 1-year-old scratches another child, we are not going to write that down and say, "Oh my gosh, this 1-year-old scratched this kid." Write them up. We don't do that. We
So
don't.
what prompts
But
you
when
to
they
write it
bite,
down?
When they bite,
What would prompt you to write it down? Because I have incidents where you have documented that she was
we
scratched.
document when the other child. So if Grace was to bite, it would be documented that she bit. They get 3 strikes, so they could bite 3 times in one day. They'd be sent home.
So what
If that
substantiates
happens more than
documenting
3
scratches and all
so
that?
so that you can have it as a parent, so that
But you just said you don't document that.
we
So what
document
does
it for you.
substantiate?
We don't document it against the child that did that, if it's just a scratch or something like that. The only things that we document that a child has done to another child is if they bite.
Okay.
Because then, if that becomes a continued behavior, then we have issues that we have to deal with. So if kids are playing and they're scratching each other, it happens. We separate them, we keep them
You
separated.
can't look at the things that have happened to her and say that was playing. All the notes say that the other kid was upset.
And they're playing with toys. Usually it's because they're
That's
fighting
not
over toys.
playing. They're not having fun when they're biting her. They're biting her because she reached for the water fountain, or they're biting her because she moved too slowly, is one of the notes.
Well, I read that one, and when we asked the teacher when you were saying that she moved too slow, and that's not what it was saying. It wasn't. She was just saying that
That's
she
exactly
didn't
what it
move
says.
fast
You
enough
can
not to
read it
move
and
it.
see
I
that it says she
understand.
was moving too slowly.
And you see what I'm dealing with. Some of these people are not very educated.
You're in charge of hiring them.
Yes, I am. Yes,
So
I
you
am.
can't use that as an excuse that they're not
They don't know how to
educated.
put their words into a book for you that's intellectually perfect. We read over all of them to make sure that it's spelled correctly for you because you want it perfect. So we try to make sure
I don't want
that
it perfect, I want it accurate.
it's accurate. That's why we have to read over them. for
So
you.
Grace
So
was moving too slowly and caused herself to get injured.
read
by
the
her.
report because I read it the same way you did, and I thought, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. What do you mean she moved too slow? Read
I
the
did
report
read it.
again because I read it again after I talked to the teacher and it made sense to what she said.
You
to
read it
me,
in a
that
sense
was
that it
moved.
makes your daycare not seem
You
like
know
they're
what?
doing anything wrong.
What is wrong? What is wrong?
My
What
kid
is the
keeps getting
problem?
injured. I don't have a problem if
You
she's
do.
not getting
I
injured.
just feel like, what did we do here? The first
You
time I
didn't do
ever met
anything to
you,
me.
you walked in and she didn't have shoes. We had asked and asked and asked for you to bring shoes. And it was like, you
She
looked
did
at me
have
like I
shoes.
was crazy. But
There
no.
hasn't been a time that I brought her
When
without
she
shoes.
first started, she was coming without shoes. We said she has
And who
to
was
have
bringing
shoes.
her when she first started?
Honestly, I don't know. I just know that the first time I ever met you, it was like you were giving the staff, I didn't even know who you were. You were giving
Yeah.
the staff a hard time, and I said, you know what, it's okay, don't
When did
worry
I
about
give
it.
the
And
staff a hard
I
time?
looked at you and I said, hey, if it's okay with you, my grandson has extra shoes here that don't fit him anymore. I said, if it's okay with you,
We've
don't
never
go
had that
home.
conversation.
I
You've
sat
never
here and
talked to me
you.
about giving me
It was the
shoes.
first time that
You've
I ever
never-
met you. So
You've
I was
never
like,
talked to me about giving
I was
her
like,
shoes.
why is he so upset? Did you guys, what
The only
happened?
time I talked to you, which was recorded, was the time
Yes,
that we
you record
argued.
all of our conversations.
It's
Like right
smart.
now, you're probably recording
I
and
am.
denying that because you're lying. You didn't bring shoes for your kid.
If
like
I'm
3
recording
times
it,
in
why
a
would I be
row.
lying?
Because you're trying to make yourself
If
look good
if
on
you-
your recording. That's
If you're
what
telling me that I
doing.
record every time we talk,
Yes.
why would that?
Because you're trying to
how's
make
that
yourself
proof that
look
I'm
good.
trying
This
to
is why
lie?
you're being so nice right now. Because when you're not recording, you're not nice to us.
I'm being nice
Yes.
because
So
you're
keep
female.
that on your recording. Why
you're
are you
sa-
making? Why are you laughing?
Because you're saying that I'm lying, but you're also saying that
You
I
are
record myself
lying.
all
You
the
were
time.
sitting here lying. We asked for you to bring shoes for over almost 2 weeks. And finally you said, fine, I'll go leave and go get them. I didn't even know who you were. I was sitting there and I said, you know what? It's okay. Don't worry about it. You don't have to leave and go get
Can you
them.
maintain video of that?
Actually, we do have video of
Can
some
you show me
things.
that?
No, I'm not going to show it to you.
Yeah, because it doesn't exist.
It doesn't matter.
But you know it
Were
does
you
exist?
recording when we asked you to go get shoes? And I said, don't worry
No, because
about the
that
shoes.
did not happen.
Because you're lying.
Because I brought shoes with her.
You can lie for your recording all you want. You did not bring shoes for almost 2 weeks. She couldn't go until she could walk with shoes, and you refused to do that.
Okay.
I was nice to you, and I said, hey,
But the
don't
video
worry
of
about
that
the shoes.
doesn't
Stop,
exist.
stop. Let me finish so you can get the whole conversation
Okay.
recorded. You can delete it, do whatever you want, make your videos, whatever you're trying to do. I don't know what you're trying to prove here.
I'm trying to make it so that Grace doesn't get injured at this daycare anymore.
By recording our conversations. How is that going to make it to where Grace is not
I
getting
don't
injured?
trust that you're going to accurately depict what happened in our conversations.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have a problem. That is
My
so
problem is that she
narcissistic.
keeps getting injured.
She does not get injured. Grace is fine. Look
so
at her.
we-
She's
today.
happy every day.
So
Grace
none of
is
these
happy.
pictures
She
happen
plays.
here. All these bite marks and scratches.
Well, you know they happen here because you took a picture of them here.
I always document
That's
every time she has an
perfect.
injury
That's
from here.
good.
So you're saying these did not happen here?
Who
Because
said
you're
that
saying
didn't
Grace
happen
doesn't
here?
get injured
Grace is not injured.
Today.
Grace is fine.
today. Grace
Okay.
hasn't been injured.
So when a kid gets bit, it's an injury. So they need to go to the hospital. If your child was injured, did you take her to the hospital?
So
Every
you're
one of these
saying
are
every-
injuries. Did you take her to the
You're
hospital?
saying every injury is the same level of
Yeah,
seriousness.
that's what you're telling me?
No, I'm saying it's an
That
injury.
is exactly what you're telling me.
I'm saying it's an injury.
So then take her to the hospital. Every time she has a scratch or a bite, it's an injury, take her to the hospital. She's so injured. There's a difference between an injury and an incident. Big difference. For us at a daycare, an injury would be stitches, needing emergency care. Those are injuries to us. Just like when you're a cop, like you were telling me. An injury is not the same thing as an incident.
No, it's still considered an injury.
So you're saying that those are injuries.
I'm saying when I was a cop,
you
if I
are
showed up to a scene,
unbelievable.
I'm unbelievable.
You're not a cop anymore though, right?
Okay.
Right?
No, I'm not.
Okay, and I'm not anymore either, for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't appreciate you coming in here and always constantly disrespecting us. We are here for grace.
How have I been disrespectful today?
You treat everybody like crap. You
Who
come
did
in
I
here,
treat
you're not
like
being
crap?
disrespectful because you have your phone out recording our
Okay,
conversation.
so how am I being disrespectful? How do I treat everyone like crap if I record every interaction I have in here?
Oh, it's not every interaction. It's the ones you want. It's the ones you want.
So
If you know you're recording,
when did I
of course
treat
you're gonna
someone
be
like
nice.
crap?
Everybody thinks you're rude to them. Nobody.
Because I don't
people
talk
see
to
you come in
them?
and they want to walk away because they don't want to have
Because
to
I don't
talk
talk to
you.
them?
No, not because you don't talk to them. Because you're rude to us.
How?
You've
How
been
am I
nice to
rude?
us. You've been nice to us since the last couple of months, since you started coming back, because we didn't have to deal with you for a couple of months. You were gone. You didn't have to come in here for like almost 3 months. You didn't come 2 months. The whole winter break, you were not here.
That's not true.
It is true.
Okay.
Look at your attendance records. You can see.
Man, do you maintain those or do you
We do maintain them.
selectively maintain them?
No, we have to maintain them by law. So I
So
have your
going
attendance
forward,
records.
what are we doing to make sure Grace doesn't get bitten? Since we've narrowed it down to
There's
just
nothing we can
Wednesdays and
do.
Thursdays in the afternoon.
There is nothing we can do to make sure she doesn't get bit. It happens. It happens. But it has happened a lot less. It has. Because the kids that were biting have grown out of that. They're not in there anymore, or they have grown out of it. I don't know what else you want me to say. It's the developmental stage that they go through.
I want you to say, I'm going to do more to make sure it doesn't
I
happen.
have, and that's why it's not
You
happening
haven't.
as
It's
much.
still happening.
How often? It's happening every single day,
It
like you
shouldn't
used to
happen
come in.
at all.
But it does, and I cannot sit here and promise you something that's not going to be true. I cannot sit here and say, you know what, Mr. Carey, that is never going to happen again, because I would be lying to you. I cannot guarantee you that your child is not going to get bit. But I can guarantee you that if she does, we are going to handle it and take care of it and make sure she's okay. That's what I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you that Grace is in good hands and we take care of her.
I
if
don't
something
want you to
happens
make sure
her.
she's okay when it happens. I want you to make sure it doesn't happen.
You cannot prevent things. You cannot always prevent it. How am I supposed to prevent that?
We've narrowed it down to Wednesdays and Thursdays
Okay.
in the afternoon. That you said that's when it happens.
And how often has it happened lately?
The last one was the 12th.
Okay, the last
So
one.
was that
but
a week
before
ago?
that, before
Well, don't
that,
ask how when the last time it happened.
It was a while, because I noticed when I was making that vlog for you, when I
The
was
inaccurate
writing it, I
log
said,
that doesn't
wow,
even have all the times on it.
it is accurate to what I
It's
have.
not accurate.
It's accurate to what
It's
I
accurate
have.
to what you wanted to write down, but it's not accurate to what
It's accurate
happened.
to what I have.
Okay, well, it's not accurate.
So do you have incident reports?
I have a bunch of them.
But you
There's
have
at least 5 that aren't on this list.
Look, but reports that are not on the list?
Yes. I take
Well,
pictures of every one that I get.
Well, then let me.
And I also have times that I've texted her mom and
I
sent
would
that
like
picture
to
up with
see-
pictures of the injuries and said this happened.
I would
They
like
said they
to
didn't know
see-
how it occurred.
I would like to see the reports that you have that we don't have. Treehouse, this is Martha. Yes. What was that? Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay.
These are all the ones you guys don't have on this list. Including times that I texted her mom as soon as I left with the injuries and said that you guys told me you didn't know how it happened.
So what is this date?
What's that?
What is this date that we don't have on here?
I put that off to the side because I'd have to pull it up on my
So
phone.
these ones are in here, but these ones are not?
Those are not in here.
Okay. And like I said, these, we don't have to keep a log of these. These are for the parents. This is for you to have so that you can have it.
So why'd you keep a log of these?
I didn't. I did not.
Then how'd you go back and know these happened?
I just told you. I pulled those from that file that we have. We make a copy.
So there is a file.
We keep a copy. Yes, it's right here.
You're just saying you don't keep documents.
We don't document
but
it.
you
We keep a
copy.
copy of it. We give the parent the original.
Okay,
Sometimes
so then
happens
there
that
is
you-
a system. You're just not
Yes.
accurately
Sometimes
maintaining it.
happens that if we're busy up here, we may just give you the original, or the teacher at the front in the classroom. Happens all the time that they give you the original right there because you're requesting those. Does
This
that
one's not
happen?
in there from September 20th
Does
when
that
she was
not happen?
sleeping.
Does the teacher give you a copy when you walk and pick up Grace?
No, it's in the book usually.
Okay, the teacher has never handed you a report and said, here's an incident report. Never.
They've handed me Grace and said something happened today,
Okay,
and there's
and then
a
they
slip
give
in
you
the
a
book.
report.
There's a slip in the book every time I pick her
No,
up.
they've handed you
Okay.
reports. We haven't even had a chance to make a copy yet. They hand it to you. We may not have it over here, which is fine. We are not required by law to have those on file. Those are for you to have.
This is from 8/17. Bit on the hand, scratched on the forehead, and scratches on her leg all on the same day. It's not on here.
Okay.
I'm here for a trap. You get it.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
On the 4th of last month, she was bitten, or sorry, the month before, she was bitten twice in the same day.
And that happens.
Okay, so your response is that it happened.
Hi, Trent is leaving. And Ruby and Violet. And Trent, yes. Okay. So if you're, like I said, if you're given a report, an incident report, that something happened to her during the day, as soon as you walk in and they hand it to you, we probably don't have a copy of it. That is why it's not in the log. I made that log for you just so you could have it. Based off of me pulling the file and just pulling them out and putting them down for you on a piece of paper because you wanted me to give you a log of, you wanted me to give you a log of what I had. And that's what I did. I pulled the file, that's what we have, unless there's something filed away, but it went all the way back to, where's your paper I gave you to, what was it? To
Well, it wasn't
August
accurate.
or something?
It wasn't accurate because it happened before that too.
Okay,
It's
well,
okay.
I gave it to you as soon as you asked me. I don't have time to go and look at attendance and this and that. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I don't
Too
care
busy
about
to
that
look
stuff.
at all that stuff. Now.
I'm not too busy. I'm just telling you. I'm not on anybody's side here. I'm
I'm not
on
saying
Grace's
you're-
side.
that's whose side
you
I'm
accused
on.
me of that earlier. You said that to me.
Well, it's odd to me that it only happens on Wednesdays and Thursdays. That seems very unlikely.
Well,
When
I
she's in
have
the same
nothing to
class,
do with
same
that.
class
I have
with
no
the same kids.
control over that, but that's not
Okay.
always true either. A lot of these parents have rotating schedules. Every single kid is not always the same day.
So it makes it
same kid every
easier
single
to
day.
narrow down. Makes it easier to narrow down.
What do you mean?
If only certain if it's based on the schedule of when that kid's going to be there,
No,
then it's
I'm
clear
telling you
who's
that the
doing
kids are
it.
not always the same every single day. We have
Okay.
rotating schedules. We have parents who work 24-hour shifts. They come Tuesday, Thursday. They might come Wednesday, Friday. They might come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not Thursday, Friday. So every day is different with those kids. They are the same friends. They are the same kids, but they're not always on the same schedule. You know, I'm just telling you, you asked me to do that, and I did. I pulled the file right here, incident reports. I pulled
So
this
there's a
out.
file of incident reports, but you can't guarantee that it's
I
accurate.
pulled this out, and everything that had her name on it, I took it out and I wrote it. I wrote it down. I typed it up for you, and I gave it to you. That's what I did. I did exactly what you
So you're
asked
telling
me to
me
do.
that it's not accurately maintained to what actually happens.
I gave you everything I have. That's what I'm telling you.
But that's not everything that
But if
happens.
you walk up to a door and the teacher gives you an incident report, how are we supposed to make a copy of it?
Please show me a video of a teacher handing me an incident report. I get them out of the book every time.
Give me the dates that you have those, and I will go find footage if I can get back that far. Yes.
I'll write them down and I'll bring them in tomorrow.
Perfect. Do that. You can text me. I text. You have my number in your phone. No, I don't have whatever I have in this folder that had her name on it. I took it out. I typed it in the log for you, and I printed it for you. I did exactly what you asked me to do. And it seems like anything I do for you is never good enough.
I just need it to be
And
accurate.
I go out of my way to do things for you. I
All I'm
do.
asking you to do is not let my kid get injured.
She's not injured.
Okay.
If she was injured, she would have to be getting medical attention.
So if someone gets in a car crash but they're not hurt bad enough to go to the hospital, they can't still have injuries.
They're not injured.
So if there's an
She needs medical care.
if there's an airbag burn on their face or something, it's not considered an injury if they don't have to go to the hospital.
Hey, if they're old enough to refuse, if you think she's injured, get her medical attention. She's not injured.
Was Parker injured when you guys didn't know why she needed 4 stitches the other day or how it happened?
Who's Parker? Because that's not your child.
Yeah, who's Parker?
Yes, none of your business, not your